What is up, y'all? It's your boy Yanaki. I'm wearing this shirt to indicate it's going to be a wild and crazy time. How are you all doing today? We're starting the stream off right. My Hero Academia, chapter 317. But before we get into this week's reading, Bishop Squid, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been catching up to some. Actually, there's iCarly's on Netflix, and that's kind of like a child favorite of mine, like growing up. So, I watched that. Um, I've been mostly just reading a lot. A lot of literature, watching a lot of debates. Trying to you know strengthen my argumentative skills. Just doing what I normally do.
Proper argumentation is always appreciated. Archbishop East, how you been doing?
Undefeated of the East, baby. What it do? I've been ecstatic. I've been cooling, bullying, and fooling around in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Staying safe though, because ATL full a bunch of psycho ass niggas. Got me fucked up. But to keep it moving and grooving and grooving, I've been cooling, man. I've been doing a lot of research, and we're gonna have a topic. We're gonna have a discussion later on about how desensitizing people are to certain things and aspects in life, such as the biggest one being death, and how much we don't really value it or shock us. So we'll be stay tuned for that later on, because
yes,
we gonna.
Listen,
I don't know about the rest of y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm not gonna fucking pussy around.
Hey, chill. It's just the first 15 minutes.
All right. Don't want to get too. Yeah,
although
we got nothing to talk about in this thing, so.
Ayo, listen.
Oh, I know. I meant with the cussing. Maybe on your ass. Maybe
yeah.
on you if you got too much cussing in the first 15.
Yeah, but
once we get past that 15-minute mark, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like one thing that, like,
Good morning,
I heard
Siobhan.
this news on Twitter that like Lenox Mall in Atlanta got like another like big. There's like I think there's like a shooting there again. It's like,
bro.
why
It's
what is
always
going
something at
on at
Linux,
that
bro.
mall?
It's always something at Linux, dog. I'm tired of that shit. It's not even a fucking ghetto. It's not even a freaking ghetto mall, bro. It's like one in the up north, nicer part of Atlanta, bro. Like, I just don't understand. Solomon, you not lying. What's good, everybody? Good morning, Siobhan.
Morning, Siobhan. I'm glad to see you in here. It's good to see you in the beginning. Isn't it the 30-second mark? Oh my god. All right, yeah. Oh, see, we have 44. Yep. I guess I should fill up this chapter now. How y'all doing? Everybody living their life?
We cooking? We chefing out here? Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving meal of a chapter? Oh my.
Hey, I don't know what your Thanksgivings look like, but I ain't trying to have
Hold
that
up.
one.
Let me pull up my George Takei voice. Oh my. There we go.
Yeah, boy.
Oh. Okay, that Shonen Jump cover for MASH I love it.
Yeah, it's gas as fuck, bro.
Dog, I played a lot of Street Fighter 2 and stuff growing up. Like, and when the Street Fighter 25th anniversary bundle came out, you better believe I had that. So, also, Harry Potter is important for understanding MASH.
Very much
Yeah.
so. I'm gonna answer a few questions first. Hold on. First we got a super chat from Whack.
Oh, snap.
I still don't know how.
Real quick, Whack, those NBA OSTs that leaked, Straight Flames. I've heard nothing but good things about the OSTs. I refuse to listen to any of them because I want to see, like, I want to hear it in the setting that it was intended in before I like listen to the song, because I don't want to like be like, ooh, they're gonna put this part for this scene, and then when I watch the anime, I'm sitting there like, oh, they didn't do that. Like, there's way too much of that goes on when talking about the anime that I'm just trying not to put myself in that position. But let me start the chapter.
But it's like,
ooh,
yeah.
No, we did not. No, we did not watch that nonsense stream. Nobody got time for that bullshit. And you got a question about EA real quick. You might as well go ahead and answer that.
The closest thing.
I think that EA is probably going to be like 3 to 4 episodes, depending on how they do it.
I say 5 because it's only 10 chapters, and 5 to 4.5. It's only 10 chapters, and if you do like 2.5 to like 2.5,
realistically, the first like 3 chapters or so can easily be done in an episode. It's more like 3, if anything, just
Like,
because of like the pacing of the arc at the beginning.
But we seen how they rearranged some stuff and added some filler scenes
Yeah,
in
extending
the
some
trailer.
scenes. I
some
think I heard there's like I think there was a rumor I heard that Star Servant's fight was gonna be like a whole episode.
yeah, I'm yeah, and I'm not watching anybody stream that decides to name their manga experience after an R. Kelly documentary about getting raped. Like, that's not cool. That's just disrespectful, completely disrespectful, specifically to those victims. Sixer Hero Society wavered so hard it collapsed. Funny how that works. Yeah.
Don't read the chat anymore.
Yep.
Don't read the chat anymore.
But before we get to like
y'all keep your mouth stuck. Y'all keep your mouths closed in that chat. We have not started a chapter. Don't speak about anything in that chapter.
All right, so like I know you don't want to hear anything. You don't want to hear anything about like the composition of the OST, but in terms of inspiration and stuff, I think it's like the best way I can summarize it. Like the feelings I got, it was like a mix of like cyberpunk and Bloodborne. I think that's the best way to describe it.
That's actually a really good, really My Hero sounding, especially for MVA description. Good work on you, Squid.
I played both those games, unfortunately. Like, okay, Bloodborne was a masterpiece, but Cyberpunk, hey, yo, my dog, Keanu, he was popping, but it's like...
Honestly, whenever you see celebrities for games, you got to be scared because a lot of times that's just a way to distract from the fact that the game is going to be mediocre. All right, starting the chapter. First page, My Hero Academia, number 317, Scars, Blood, Filth.
I love they changed the last one to Filth. See?
Okay, now, the first thing we got to notice here is the cross-hatching for this cover for Deku. Look at how, like, the light is being dispersed. Like... And this is one thing I love. He's using the cross hatching to like represent like the light that it's in his hair. And then as we get closer, we see like that. We see the natural shading of the color. It's just this really cool use of
the details
light.
That I like in this is that like you can tell that this is the scarf, but certain parts of the scarf don't actually look like the scarf due to the cross hatching. They look kind of like smoke, which plays into the quirks. And then like it also kind of looks like his hair is like fading. Which like leaves me like thinking about all the times people are like, oh, white hair Deku, da 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 da. But like, yeah.
I ain't gonna speak, just read. That's all I gotta say. Let's just go.
We may have escaped that explosion by the skin of our teeth, but the blast erased any trace of the League. Have we extracted anything from the not happening? She's in such bad shape, the folks at Central Hospital say they don't even know how she's alive. So yeah, literally foot out the door. Also, this where the top 5, this where the heroes meeting, warehouses.
Listen, this is my favorite. This is like my warehouses. Favorite. This is my favorite portion because I always love when niggas are just squatted up talking about shit, like when everybody's like ganged up. And this is the warehouse front where Davi and Hawks met way back when.
Yeah, like the thing that's like making me laugh about this though is that like, in what world where Hero Society is strong? Do
they gotta live in the podunk?
Like, do they gotta go hide in warehouses to meet up?
Yeah, like to actually have a full-fledged conversation.
Like a woman afflicted by powerful despair, still clinging desperately to life. Endeavor, is it time to stake everything on turning this around? All right, so you got Conway Woods, who's the rookie, Ed Shot with Camino Pizza, which is really just him like being like, y'all remember these niggas, right? Because y'all suck when I don't spoon feed you. Maybe we should expand this beyond us and bring in every last remaining hero, informing the others about Midoriya One for All, and throw an all-encompassing net at this investigation. Mount Lady, get it done, gal. Also, what we talked about last week, still got that net brace. Those do look like bandages, so we were right. Like, this is still April. He's still injured from the war.
One idea they had was that Gigantomachia, like slamming her on her neck, kind of like permanently causes like a fracture there to where she has to wear the brace.
Yeah. That business with Lady Nagant made it clear that the brunt of hunting down the league will be left to Midoriya. The cops are up to their eyeballs with other problems, and there have been no eyewitnesses accounts for the league. We should put together a task force before the pool of colleagues we can count on has dried up. Right, Desut Goro quit 2 days ago.
Shout out to Mountain Lady having that scar on her face though.
Wait, why not just call him?
Don't know, but hey, don't
because
know.
Hori is revealing some of these characters' names.
Oh yeah, I see the point.
Yeah,
Because
like,
by calling him by his name, you get the Death Arm speech here.
This job's been running me ragged. I can't seem to catch a break. And what do we get for it? Rants, doubts, rage. Yeah, I know there's still some support for us out there, but one loud heckler easily drowns out 10 fans. I've never felt like this before. I thought I was different, better. I'm sure we all did once, but nah, I'm no hero, only human. See, this one. So I saw somebody say that Death Arms was a fake hero, and I can't fully agree with that in this one. Specifically because he stayed on after the wave and just can't do it. Like,
yeah, cause that's what like people trying to like tarnish some of these niggas trying to like clown this nigga. I'm like, nah. You can't do him like Uri. Uri quit like the first 2 days after the fact, like when shit barely started. But this nigga's been in the streets for it's been a whole month basically since
I think it's important to note that Death Arm's sidekick was killed in the war as well.
Yeah.
Like,
see, okay.
He's dealing with a lot of stuff and the constant negativity. In hindsight, it can break anyone.
And that's another thing to talk about because Death Arm's sidekick died away from him. Death Arm's sidekick died at the mansion. Death Arms himself was in the city by Deku. So not only did he lose a sidekick, he lost a sidekick that he basically entrusted to his fellow heroes. They took him 80 kilometers away, 55 miles away, and got him murked by Toga. I don't think it's fair to call somebody who lost, and realistically, some of these sidekick pair-ups, they've been together for a while. So that could easily be especially because his sidekick looked kind of young too. That could easily be losing one of his best friends in the past 7 years.
We gonna come back to this because that's a conversation I'm expose everybody on about being desensitized to death. But we gonna come back to that later.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we brought this up.
Yeah,
I like how he. I like his last statement, but nah, I'm no hero, only human. And this connects back to a major theme of the series, which is people being dehumanized due to their status and their title. Now, we normally think of this as just the villains, they the monsters, they're the killers, they're the evil. But this also happens to the heroes too. Anyone with a title is only seen in that persona of the title itself. Yeah, and Death Arms is really embodied.
That's what Stain was talking about that shit before. All these niggas in there for the glory and hype. It's like nobody is a hero for the actually right reasons. All it is just glorified propaganda. All these fake ass societal heroes. Once you're a hero, no matter whether you fucking top 10 or you fucking 105,000 or whatever. It don't matter. As long as you're a hero and niggas look up to you. Yeah, you might have some balkers he weak sauces and another, but mass majority of people are gonna be like, oh, it's a hero. Cool. Niggas slide and go. Niggas still fuck with y'all might clown slide and go, but niggas in that verse will fuck with slide and go. They don't need they don't need you to be the all raw. All you need to do is be a hero, and then basically you famous. You good.
Ooh, never mind. We'll talk about that later. Because it reminded me of a conversation remember the conversation BoJack had with Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL, about he was like, so you agree that I'm a hero? And he was like, well.
What? Oh, well, yeah.
That's actually what Horikoshi's doing here.
Mm-hmm. And this whole page was a reference to heroes in crisis.
Yeah. In the big battle.
I saw more of. I remember seeing a Watchmen panel very similar to this as well.
In the big battle, he led the charge to round up the spy heroes working for the Paranormal Liberation Front. He seemed like a hero with some backbone to him. Any hero's threads could snap tomorrow, and it wouldn't come as a shock. We hear about more heroes hanging up their costumes every day.
Threads, pun, genus pun. Let's go.
Plus, the media is closing in on Deku, since heroes who do quit end up leaking details. With Law and Order all but
You know what that
law
means.
and order, all but gone. Power runs unchecked in the streets. In the street. So we can't let the world learn the truth behind One for All. If that were to happen, that will be the one caught in a vicious cycle of negativity. We can sit here all day and prophesize doom, but the fact is, doom's already on our doorstep. I've been thinking, is All for One planning to go public? About Midoriya, I mean, and One for All. Why not make that his opening move? That would have forced us heroes to mobilize and lock Deku away somewhere safe. So his silence tells us he doesn't want that. Still, unless Deku and the rest of us are out there taking action, we'll never get any leads. Not enough cops, not enough heroes.
That panel just like,
hey, pick up the phone from Shoto. We all have to go stop Toya. Sorry, Shoto. Hang in there a little longer because for now I beep. That was mine. Just got word from All Might. What? Midoriya ran into a second hired gun. Also, we live in a world where Endeavor gets a message from Shoto and doesn't. Shoto! We down bad. It's already over. Woo! Ooh. Damn. Laid that nigga out on a rail. Fuck your spine, homie. And he blinged out. Yo, okay, Horikoshi got to stop doing this because now I'm going to have to hear about how that criminal that Deku beat one time didn't get enough story paneling because he's got these really good tattoos and now everybody's going to be obsessed with them. God
no, fuck all that shit because that shit would have been too fucking complicated to draw again and again and again and again.
Like,
wait, hold on, what? Wait, what's going on?
He got to the panel where he folded the second assassin.
Hey, yo, was that a picture of Ibarra?
Where?
Look at her. Look at the hired gun's shoulder.
Oh no, he's just covered in maidens.
Yeah, he's just. It's in like,
those are more than likely a bunch of different like Shinto priestess type legendary figures.
Yeah. You can tell he's part of like that Yakuza type beat by his attire. He got the gold chains, the teeth, the fucking tattoos, the
leather jacket.
Yeah, like you could just tell by his. Yeah. You could just tell by his attire what was going on.
He won. Kid. That one didn't have any intel. Be careful. He might explode. Wait just a minute.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys discuss the fact that the retired heroes are snitching?
Oh, like we're going to come back to all of it. I just want to
okay.
I got to get through the chapter. But we got All Might coughing with the blood too. Deku landing. You haven't been eating. All Might. You don't have to tag along anymore. I'm fine. Really, now it's your turn. Fine. Continue down this path, and what awaits you is unspeakably gruesome death. No, I just can't. Listen. What I'm capable of now is on par with you at 100% and with no recoil to boot. So, yeah, Nana crying, him talking like the visit to Gran Torino, the flashback to Shiggy, the fear in All Might's eyes. I need you to tell the world, I am here. You're dead set on keeping me out of harm's way, and you have your duty as the wielder of One for All. You don't look back at me anymore. Don't worry about me, really. I swore I'd raise you up and protect you. Wait, but I know how it is. You're the only one who can bear this burden. Do your best. You deserve to rest. I need to tell you that, kid, okay, first off, this reverse of like, okay. Everybody's aware of the famous painting where Adam is sitting and he's reaching out to God. Everybody's aware of it. Everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
This is very much a reversal of that, where instead of reaching out to God, they're pulling away. Like,
yeah.
Holy shit. I love it. And like, because like All Might was originally seen as like this deific figure, but now instead of, and like Deku, like the mortal reaching up and looking up to All Might, and then we've inverted it where Deku was flying away, going upwards, and the man who was once seen as the god is reaching up towards him, trying to achieve and reach up to that level. Kid Eye. And then we see somebody watching them. Is this another assassin? Now, depending on whether they were coming for Deku or they're gonna like take out All Might, that's the real question here. Ooh,
It's my boy
it's
Stain.
Stain.
And
How about neither one of the two?
And he's got a new beautiful jacket.
They
Hey,
say
you know
he
what this jacket
appears.
reminds me of? We know how we talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles influence. Remember
Yeah,
when the turtles got to go undercover? They wear the trench coat. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
So let's get to the
they say he appears without a sound and that he's got a whole mess of quirks in him. That sounds like All for One's ability, right? Or like a Nomu even, but apparently he goes around helping people. The rumor says he's caked with blood and filth, which cover up his many scars. Looking at him, you'd never guess he was a hero. Oof. So I love the broken bandages, the black whip tendrils, the fact that the iron gauntlets or the iron shoes are breaking down enough that like it looks like individual toes now. Whew.
I really hope he takes a shower soon.
You don't have to do him like that.
I mean, hey, the rain isn't gonna do you no good. It gonna clean the outside, but it ain't gonna clean the inside.
Oh yeah, Deku was blatantly looking like that. Does very much remind me of the Black Swordsman's armor.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they switched the title from. They switched it from. I was hoping they kept the title, but they switched it from mud to filth, and I like the filth way better.
Because there wasn't really a lot of mud around here, but streets are dirty. Like, have you been like L.A. Like if you're on like the East Coast, there's like New York, whole streets have lined up trash.
Man, hold on. I'm just processing this. This is so what's really interesting about this though is that if you remember, All Might wanted to talk to Stain, and it kept getting delayed. And they were like, "Hey, wait, what up, Brandon Cruz?" Remember, he was like, "Oh, you're meeting with Stain. We'd like you to postpone that. Oh, you're meeting with Stain. We'd like you to postpone that. When are you going to be meeting with Stain? Blah 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 blah." And now we see Stain has managed to track down Deku and sees All Might with him as he's leaving. So, Jorge Valdez. Yo, is AFO not going public because he is pulling a Voldemort and knows how real heroes are and wants Deku alone and isolated? Yes. I do think that he's like, if I did this, it would create like a massive like reason for everybody to protect Deku. It incentivizes people and it makes my goals very transparent and clear for everyone in society. And so if everybody knows All for One has a target, right? If they know, oh yeah, he wants to hurt Deku, then it creates this situation where everybody's like, oh, it's not the hero's fault. It's literally the supervillain going after this small child that has us all in this terrible position. So it keeps things like from being tangible and from like having him like held down. And it makes Deku's situation more desperate because now Deku has to choose who he wants to endanger. He has to choose who he's going to tell that secret to and then who's going to be risk. And then in addition to that, though, the people who will step down, betray, like there's a bunch of people who betray, step down or whatever, Deku to like try to save themselves. But ultimately, everybody knows that All for One is the dude that blew away Kamino. He wasn't a public figure the first time around. He's got no choice but to be this time. See, and yes, he's been doing the Bane for a while. Yeah, he's trying to wear him out.
Oh, by the way, those aren't his toughest assassins either. He's not sending his cream of the crop. You don't need to. You just need to send a good couple niggas out there, Deku, and you good. He said, every battle you face wears you down more and more. You chose the thorny path.
You know what this reminds me of?
Like we were just talking about. You're not eating. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. We gonna talk about how Deku just let that nigga for dead too, low key.
Yeah.
He was like that. He like nigga just dipped out the door. Was like he ain't got no intel. He might explode. Be careful. And then like I know that nigga didn't call the police or nothing to get that nigga out there.
Hold on, real quick. In OP1, All Might is looking back at Deku with his arm stretched out. Now Deku turning his back on All Might's stretched out arm. It's kind of depressing. Like, yeah, like that. You're supposed to be watching them like slowly, like their relationship is slowly fading away. And if I'm being honest, I would really, really like it if if we do finally get the death of All Might, but it comes down as their relationship is worn away too, especially because that would mirror how Night Eye died when All Might and him were on the like fritz and on the outs, and then like he wanted to try to fix that at the end, but just didn't have time to do it really. And I think that Deku is potentially going to walk that same path, because I keep saying that like Deku needs to get out of All Might's footsteps, and people are like, "Oh, he's already doing it." And I'm like, no, he's not. He's replicating almost all the same behaviors that he went through, and this is just another reflection, like slowly damaging your relationships with the people closest to you. He went from seriously revering and respecting All Might to basically being like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to stay on the bench, son." And yeah, like Pedro just said, AFO is in his head.
Shout out to Siobhan Ross from Super Chat.
Yep. AFO was using the same playbook he ran on All Might, making Deku rush in with blind rage and making him question his moral compass. Mm-hmm.
Hey man, listen. He is. This is why Deku is so funny, because Deku's such a fucking fool. It's like it's every like I was just watching another superhero movie. Like, nigga, when you fucking have you never watched this superhero movie ever? Like, do they just not exist or in your world somehow? Because every single time the hero want to be like, okay, I need to separate myself to protect you, but your identity already out there, nigga. Of course, the villains are gonna go get the people closest to you, and they already know who the fuck you are, and then they're actually gonna be in danger, and then they're gonna use them as a hostage gimmick. Then you really fucked up. Because you want to go play like, okay, I had to get away from you to protect you. No, nigga, don't worry, I'm safe if you actually buy me. Because they're going to find out who you are, or they already know who you are. They know everything about you, bro. They know you went to UA. They know everything. That's the reason you fucking left. And okay, you left UA because they can find you in time. Nigga, and if Shigaraki and them decide to pull up on UA and be like, hey, you come here. I don't have to go look for you. You come here. You're going to be like, oh, shit. Dumbass thing, like, that's always the stupidest thing for me.
But the funny thing
was a full turn. He don't have a you could say he don't have a choice, but like, nigga, Zach, what you doing now? I forgot. We was in VC Friday, but somebody talked about this is definitely his Uncle Ben moment right here.
Yep.
When you ain't want to fucking listen what Nicholas was trying to tell you, and then you're gonna go off on your own and be distant from All Might for the rest of this time, and then you're gonna be like, then when All Might die, you're gonna fucking start regretting everything. Like, oh, I should have fucking listened. Did that and other hour too. Like, he gonna be in the mud and he gonna really get humble.
He gonna sit down and be humble.
But hold on, I got to real quick point out that we had already discussed how they'd survived the explosion last week, and there's somebody acting like, "What? It's so crazy that this happened." So
no, it's not.
Two people went into a house, one of which has super speed, and the other literally has heat manipulation or flash fire. He doesn't even have to like try to manipulate the heat. He can just literally fly out of the ceiling.
Like, you got to think, like, we're talking about somebody who can create a windstorm, which is basically like the same thing as an explosion. Like, as soon as the fire starts, he can just flick his fingers if you like at 45%, and he's creating a wind that like buffers it. Come on now. Like, Endeavor can control fire. Like, sometimes people like make shit way harder for themselves than they have to. They really do. Jorge Valdez, therefore, I really believe the people that Deku saved in the past are going to save him now. Shoto, Kachan, Eden, of course, Ochako, and sorry for missing the last few weeks. Work is a bitch. Hey, Jorge, we appreciate you all the same. I always appreciate y'all making it, watching
One thing I find interesting is that we're slowly seeing like his costume get torn, because like the thing is he kept the costume from the war arc. Like, this costume's been through a lot.
So Horry's is using it before we inevitably get rid of that shit. Because it's getting torn a bit, shred to shred.
Getting torn, shredded. I think my
It's,
boy's like Torino's cape is getting messed up. It's down bad. Like, I think one thing I'd be interested in is like for the AFO fight, right? Like, I guess in like Dragon Ball especially, like for that big battle, you have like the shirt come off. What if that's like the case? Like he's just getting like stomped out like so badly, like his costume just unravels.
that's probably gonna be the case. He probably gonna be shirtless like that. Like it's gonna look probably gonna be like that picture when him and Ochikor together in the sky. His suit probably gonna look like that. Cause she can gonna beat the brakes off that boy. I just can't wait. That's why he getting all this hype right now, bro. That when he get humble, it's gonna be on so many ultimate layers, physically, mentally. Like it's gonna wear his ass down. Let
And
me address.
expeditiously.
Let
Expeditiously.
me handle something in the chat real quick.
All right.
Those two niggas y'all mentioned, we don't speak about them. Okay. Nobody give a fuck what Rex got to say. We ain't talking about that. All right. Keep those names out the chat. We do not care. I'm not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. We not discussing that bullshit. Don't need that. We here to have fun.
Yeah, I'm like, oh snap.
Well now.
Let's go. What's up, people?
All right. I
How
thought
you
you was
doing?
gonna be out this time.
Man, I was balling, so I had to break some ankles, put some people in the dirt.
Go! You go, bro. Yo, let's go.
I was playing with some Russians, so yeah, it was pretty intensive. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Russians play hard.
for sure. Look at the
boogie
This nigga.
So hello. So
Never change.
I just saw that you get a lot of people on the stream. Like, you know what to do, guys. Like, show some love, like the video, say what you what you found about the chapter, and yeah, I will say what I just read it, and damn, I don't know why, but that last page, it looks like Berserk to me, man. Damn.
He's got that black swordsman armor.
Yeah, maybe literally there's
That
the
was-
black. There's the Black Swordsman arc, man. Damn.
So can I discuss
definitely
my
could've put on
ideas
some
for
gloves.
AFO's plan and like some of the story direction I think we might be going towards?
No, because I'm the one I'm the one talking right now.
Yeah,
Very well.
it is Ponzu's turn.
Funny as fuck, boy.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I really am.
So literally, just reading the chapter, you have like the discussion between the heroes. Literally, that discussion is what fans do. Literally, that's what I love about Horikoshi writing right now is that he put the characters in his stories in our shoes. Because right now we just like thinking about different theories, different stuff, how the story is going, and these characters are humans too, so they do the same stuff. They don't know where they're heading right now, how they gonna act on stuff, how they gonna do stuff. Like even when they were talking about the body swapping theory, they don't know if it's right or not. They're just making so they don't know. Horikoshi's like a god. He's really the god of his story, and his characters don't know that their story is written by a guy. You know what I mean? So it's hilarious on that side note. But next to this, we see the ramifications of the war. We get some good people, some people that we saw on the first episode of My Hero Academia, like Mount Lady or rookie Kamui Woods and Death Arms. You saw the contrast. We were shown these people in the first episode. They were all in action. They were the most important people, and they just kept coming back in the story through the tournament, stuff like this. And Death Arms is out. Death Arms is out. He lost his brother because that guy looked like a lot like him too. Just to say, he looked his brother in arms, like his sidekick got killed by Toga. He can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? That man is no hero. He's a human. Wow, just this is enough to tell a lot about the story. How deep is the story? You know what I mean? And what like you said, Squid, about people being like, when we give them titles, we can see them other than these titles. You know, it is something that's true. When you talk to the
Mhm.
president, how do you have to talk to the president? You have to call him Mr. President. You can see him even if he's a douchebag. You can see them other than being the president. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or the king even. So that's the thing. That is something that is really sad with that. We get it with villains and heroes. Really, I just heard like some stuff before reading what you said, and then we get the Deku stuff, the Midoriya Izuku stuff. Him getting like niggas bag like it was nothing at all.
Mhm.
Fast using his Black Week like Spider Man like tying people like I just saw even like this. Wow, the design of Deku right now, his eyes.
You know,
How it comes,
Toshi,
she's playing us with these eyes, man. Literally, you can feel the sadness, you can feel everything, and
he's on his
the
Black
eyes are
Spider-Man gimmick
dark.
right now.
Sorry,
He's on his Black Spider-Man suit gimmick right now. He's on his Venom gimmick
bro,
right now.
man. You can call it Venom, you can call it Batman, you can call it anything because that man using just he's fan of he's a fan like us. Horikoshi is at first a fan too. You know what I mean? He's a fan of manga and comics, and you see that in every panel, in every drawing that he's doing. Yeah, the way that he used the ink and every
All right, let's
that's
get this
amazing
super chat out real quick from
Mhm.
R
Mhm.
Blast.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
for
yeah.
sure.
Our blast super chat. There was a moment when Deku looked so sad with the mask on, and it broke my heart. Happy
Yes,
Father's Day, Dad, Mike. Hey, Lord. Yo,
Oh
I
Yeah.
actually,
So
yeah,
I wanted
yes,
to talk
dang.
about
guys.
this. I
so
actually did want to talk about that.
hold on, because I got something that we can segue into this. That he's oh that nigga oh yeah. By the way, KJ was talking about someone swing deck saying he control one for all at 100%. Nah, that nigga was bullshitting like fuck. All Might told that nigga way before at like 310. Hey, don't be going all out into the final battle. This nigga that sway just because 100% Fox 100% is not actually 100% doesn't mean it's not causing ramifications. Deku is very fucking self-destructive,
Mhm.
self-sacrificial. That nigga lying through his fucking teeth, bro. It's effects happening to his
The
body.
closest thing you could even remotely like approximate is that faux 100% is like near 100% in terms of speed. That's really it. Like in terms of like sheer destructive force, it doesn't even come close. Like we saw in the Nagant fight, just like it's not even anywhere near the same.
Yeah, like he's not actually on. He just talking shit, bro. Like that
Like
recoil is actually affecting his body, bro. Like think about it. Even if he's even is Suedo 100% is not actually 100%, but it's stronger than 45%. If you use the knowledge that he can use 45% and only take like if he use 100%, he only get 55% of the blowback. Chances are that he's using more than he should and a strain in his body. And he's remember quirks like muscles, you have to keep your body up too. Like you can like you need to put like when you work out, you need to take protein, you need to eat properly, or you just destroying your muscles. You have nothing to re fucking connect your fibers and stuff like that and heal back up properly. So this nigga not doing what he's supposed to and running all his shit into the ground is like he's doing too much for his body. Like it's okay. They think he just hot shit now. It's all setting up for his imminent downfall because he too fucking tunnel vision,
the
big
imminent
headed.
beating about to
Yeah,
go down.
it's gonna be so satisfying when this nigga like for fans is Shiggy and his time coming up and the Deku being too much on this fucking. He need to get his humbling. And y'all niggas realizing what's really going down because he's running down a ragged path. Like he's doing what he shouldn't be doing. He should be having help and everybody coming together, but he doing all this shit on his own, trying to be, oh, it's my sole responsibility. Like, nah, nigga. Maybe that one
Well,
fight, but going towards the fight, that's a different story.
this is something also I just want to like point out though that Deku cannot telling the other pro heroes is a bit of an issue because these are a lot of adults who are disillusioned and have been dealing with this, and their souls have been ground down. But all of 1A, now 2A, has hero licenses, except Shinso, and is fully aware of what's going on with Deku. Where, yes, it's unconventional, but this is the time to pull the young justice and develop that young strike team of, you know, underage heroes and get to work.
Okay. So I had an idea. Is it okay if I share it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So I was thinking to myself, because I'm actually kind of a pretty, I'd say, knowledgeable DC fan.
Mhm.
And I was like, huh. AFO's kind of reminding me of something that was done in a very famous Batman story. So, I do what I normally do. I research, I reread, and I come to the same, and then I come to this conclusion. Wait a minute, he's trying to tire out Deku. He's broken all these people out of jail, so he has to fight him. He's trying to break this guy mentally. This is Nightfall from Batman. In that story, Bane, I believe this was actually the introduction of Bane. He he breaks Arkham Asylum. He gets everyone out. Batman spends 3 weeks just like fighting everybody and then throwing them back in jail. And then when he finally gets a time to rest, he get Bane shows up and he's deduced that Bruce Wayne is Batman. And then because he's so exhausted, he can't fight back. And Bane is pretty talented at fighting, and he breaks his back.
So you're thinking like instead of the back, it's going to be one or both arms.
I think he's gonna keep fighting a lot of these villains, and unless the class interferes and makes him realize he doesn't have to do this alone, he it's okay to ask for help. He's gonna go into that all for one fight, and he's going to get folded badly, and it's gonna cost him uh something very major. It could be an arm, it could be All Might's death, it could be both.
It'll be both. I'm telling y'all, listen, this whole excuse that, oh, well, Deku actually needs his arm to fight, or this and other, didn't Shiki need all fucking 5 fingers of decay? And didn't he lose 2 of them hoes during NBA?
I mean, he could always attack with the stubs. In fact, the stub's got bone in it, so it's actually pretty sharp.
I mean, it's gonna get. I don't think he's gonna rip the whole thing off, but you can't believe that Shigaraki 100% is gonna leave Deku with some minimal scars. There's gonna be a grave cost at fighting that motherfucker. Like he gonna mangle that fuck out that arm.
He's gonna twist it, bite on it, sell it for rent money. It's gonna be bad.
But continue forward, Squid.
Yeah, so I noticed that AFO's plan has a very similar basis to Batman Nightfall. And I think one thing where the story's gonna differ is that, after, Deku gets his metaphorical back broken, his back blown out, um, he's gonna have to go back to UA, and this is where like his second, I guess, back breaking occurs, where the students are just like ragging him for like just being a terrible person, frankly. Like you did not offer, like you didn't even go to midnight funeral, you didn't even offer words, like you just up and left while everyone else was just struggling. And you didn't even take a minute to see how everyone else would feel,
Yeah.
and that cements
Hello.
the theme of of acting selflessly without consideration of how others are affected by your actions. And
Well,
you get this completion of this theme of that started with Nana, and then Toshinori, and then you have uh, it ending with Deku breaking that cycle.
All right, now Shisui, my brother.
Yeah. Yo, I need everybody to spam W Hori in the fucking chat. Spam
Let's
that
go,
shit
man. Let's
right
go. Let's eat.
fucking
Let's
now.
go.
Now,
Let's go.
what did
This
I tell you
motherfucker
yesterday?
came in 10 out of 10. I don't fucking care. This is what I was here for this whole time, bro. I said it last week. We say it again. Trust the process, man. Hori's GOAT, bro. Thank you. Thank you to the church. Thank you, everybody, bro. Like this shit, big smiles on my face, cheek to cheek, man. I am here for this shit. And just like, fuck all that talk on Twitter about it took 300 chapters. Da, 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 da. Shut up, bro. This was all planned, man. And like, just to see the look he had now, this motherfucker looking like Stain, and then we got Stain and licking his lips in the back, bro. This shit was wild, bro. Wild shit, man. Oh God, the All Might shit. That was like, that was really just heartfelt to see. And obviously Midoriya has to learn an important lesson. I mean, I already heard the back end, caught the back end of what you guys were saying earlier, but he's got to learn an important lesson. And man, this is a good character arc. This is a good moment, preceding that. And so, thank you for the memes, East. I appreciate you. I'm about to go crazy on Twitter, but like this feels so good. It just feels so good that we're here in this moment in time. And it's like, I see the vision. I kind of don't, it's somewhere between expecting and not realizing what Hori might do going forward, but it's like I can see that everything is just like each chapter is built like consistently. I mean, I would say as isn't here, but we talked a bit last week about like, are the heroes going to have that moment where they have that conversation? And it's like, we're getting it, what I'm saying? So it's like Hori knows, bro. He's 2 steps ahead of everybody. Like, I'm telling you,
shit, more like 10. Y'all niggas
this
behind.
guy is so in his bag. Like, I need the chat to realize this guy is so in his bag. It's like he's so confident. I've never seen him more confident.
I think the big worries isn't that like what the story is currently doing. I think the problem is like they want to see the stuff that's going to happen way earlier. Like for example, if everyone got like, for example, if we got like those 5, maybe 10 chapter about their pain post-war arc and how the students are just down bad, like people would like be like, oh man, this is so cool. This is like this, but it's like the fact that it's getting put on as of now a little bit of the back burner so we could get Deku's journey and then his snapping, his metaphorical back broken. It's like,
but what Shisui, continue your point.
Yeah. So it's like, what you said is important too, but it's like, and that's a lot of that we talked about regarding last week, and I think people in the chat we all realize that. But it's like, it's just the level of confidence he has as a writer now, and just like, just not even me being a fan of Hori, just seeing it from an outside perspective in general. It's like, I just know like this guy is really like secured. He's really secured. But yeah, man, what was the standout moments for you guys, man, in the chapter? I want to hear what you guys think. Chat too, man. What was your favorite moment in the fucking chapter?
For me, I know everybody had the same favorite moment basically, but my personal favorite still is them actually having a conversation in the fucking waterfront warehouse. Because to me, it's always those moments that like the realism is just like, I always love characters squatted up, chilling up, talking. So like,
she was cheeked up,
exactly. So like with 305 drop, there was like all the vestiges sitting in the chair, like, yo, nigga, we need to talk, and niggas just gooning and squatted up. So I'm like, but they having this talking in the warehouse, and it's just so fucking real. It's just like,
100%. I like that look too. Like, the warehouse shit is sick too, because I always love that shit, Hunter fan. But like, it's just they're kind of, it almost just seems like, I mean, they almost seem like vigilantes in a perspective, even though they're not technically.
Like before this would have been them with the police at a community.
Right, exactly.
All right, we start Africa.
Now they're kind of on their own.
Investigations led us to now they need to go into a fucking abandoned warehouse to have
this conversation,
talk. Like, god damn.
And they're like, we just like saved our asses by the skin of their teeth, and it's like now like the stakes feel real and just a lot higher now that they're like kind of.
The other thing is kind of like, imagine if you were like, oh, sweet, I'm going to watch the Justice League today. And then you turned the TV on and the Justice League was like, all right, guys, we need to discuss the strategy. And then Batman walks out and they're in a warehouse. And you're like, wait, what? Like you see like Superman and Batman and the Green Lantern and Flash. Like, we got to figure out what we're going to do, guys. It's pretty bad.
And then like somebody's comment like, damn, we lost fucking, I can't believe we lost Diana and fucking Victor, and it's just like that panel. Like I a long time ago, I realized that
that
a long time ago, I realized that there's only despair that waits for the longest time with everybody. Because Horikoshi was hyping up all this hype, all this hope, and I seen it from a while back. I was like, oh, if you really realize that Shiggy never gonna go to the top, this is all just fucking playing niggas like fiddles. And y'all, a lot of you
100%.
niggas getting caught off right now. But like, I already seen this shit coming way back, like 10 chapters ago. Because I'm like,
Facts.
nah, he gassing up too much hope, too much hype. But we know
Yeah,
what's to
exactly.
come. It's
We
all
know
about
what's
the
coming.
execution. So when I see more chats, so like the despair at the end of their conversation is like, not enough cops, not enough
Yeah,
heroes.
exactly.
And
You got to pay attention.
They have to sink that in, and it's just done. Like, okay, we moving on the deck of like, ain't no. Oh
Exactly.
yeah, well, if we all round up everything we can, we could definitely do this. Like, and
Exactly.
Hawks' bitch ass bird is like, bro, we can talk about the dooms, we can talk about the scenarios, but Doomsday already at the fucking door. Like,
Exactly.
like,
That
it's just-
Hawks moment. Ooh, yo.
That's the other thing, right? Like,
I
this
tell
shit
you.
was like, we are already certified down bad, sir. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, listen,
Reality check.
Y'all know I hate that nigga, but I tell you, I will never
speaking
downplay that nigga.
100%.
I'll never downplay that nigga. He was spitting. I hate that
He
nigga
was
with a fact, but I won't
spitting.
downplay
Yes,
that nigga
sir.
spitting like.
He's always speeding.
Bro,
That's
he
his
is.
character is there to speed every time. That's the thing about the
Let's not get out of
character.
hand now.
Sir, nah. We right on
Let's
time.
let's not get out of hand now. All right, let's draw that back. Let's not get out of hand.
Sir. Nah, you was there. No, but listen, like, what you were saying is 100%, and it is a reality check, and it's not even a misdirection. It's just like a reminder, like who's paying attention or not. As far as like, yeah, all of the people that are reading the chapter and getting gassed just off like seeing Midoriya do his thing. That's great. You know, that's awesome. We all love to see that. But I think the important thing too is just to like kind of remind yourself, like what we were saying last week. These motherfuckers really don't have that much of a plan. They're kind of just like, yo, we got to do this. Like, yeah, let's do that. Like, should we do this? Like, should we tell the public about whatever? Like, Melody brought up a good point, and I feel like that's gonna bite them in the ass. Like you saw what Endeavor said, and then like, yeah, we just got to keep moving. But it was like, like hold up now, like this is you can't just kind of put that to the side. But they're gonna learn a very important lesson, man. They're gonna wake up, you know. It's time to wake up. They're gonna get that 5 o'clock wake.
This is my concern.
Hold on, that's a good point, KJ. It's like Justice League is having a meeting while Deku was folding the villains. Not
yeah, facts. He's actually putting on some Robin shit. I don't know. But yeah, man, like that was raw. That was raw.
Oh. Also, like my favorite stuff is actually like that. It's like when we cut and we get that page turn to Deku versus the Yakuza member.
Mhm.
I'm surprised that one didn't go viral because yes, the final page is raw. And if you remember way back in the day, I was like, I mean, we could get to a point where Deku's floating in the air, all angry with black whip tendrils in the air, looking like some kind of Cthulhu figure. And then we get him walking down. So like we've already talked about
that last panel was good, but that one you're talking about is my favorite.
Yeah, like where it's like it's already over, and like you just see him kind of like
he's got black whip looking the other. I was like, hey, yo, little dad, like, yes, sir.
That nigga left that nigga to die too, bro. He like,
no, and
the bomb.
The best part about that is All Might in the back, and like that's like a standout for me because you know,
he looks like he's worried about the way Deku
he's
folded
very
that
concerned. Yeah, he's like, yo, chill out. But nah, like beyond that, it's just like seeing, you know, your mentor, seeing the kid you had all these hopes and these goals about like becoming a hero and doing all, and you can see like the flashbacks, you can see what he said, the interactions they had. He trained this kid, man. You know, and just to see him kind of on this path of like, you know, I'm doing my own thing. And we all know, see, this is what hurts to see. We all know like what's gonna happen. We all see it, bro. Like, come on now. We know Shigaraki. We already know, bro. But we just looking at it, we're just like, man, like we're hyped, but at the same time, we all realize like, oh man, he about to get folded, bro. Like it is what it is. But
that's why
and I want to see that. I want to see him.
Yeah,
getting
we want to
folded.
see it, but we also kind of like, damn, bro.
But here's my thing, right?
Me, no, I'm not sad because diamond is meaning pressure. You know what I mean? The highest pressure make diamonds. So yeah, bro. Let's get the best, MC. Let's get the best MC of the Sun and Jump, bro. Let's get
came
him.
in there with the diamond. Yes.
Here's the thing. Do you know what the big Chekhov's gun is for me now with these flashbacks?
Yes.
When we got these spreads and these panels, right, as he's like thinking back, we get sports festival callbacks, we get callbacks to them like sitting there, like, you know, them talking. We get the Gran Torino flashback, we get the Nana flashback, we get the Shigaraki flashback. Mm-hmm. We get the All for One cutaway from the last chapter. We get the flashback to was it Culture Fest when they were doing the training and like All Might was working out. Mm-hmm. That don't really matter. Or was that before or like a little bit out? We get all these flashbacks. What important flashback is missing?
All for Ones?
No, there's no Night Eye flashback cut in this chapter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yo.
The fact that there's no Night Eye flashback cut into this chapter means he's saving that when he thinks about Night Eye for something. Hold up, real quick, let me hit these super chats.
And now we're only hearing his words, the unspeakable death.
That's a good
Ooh,
point.
okay, yeah. Okay, so first off, Siobhan Robinson says the villain side actually has more leadership than the heroes. The heroes are getting embarrassed because there was never an actual leader. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That is okay. Yeah. Okay. Hold up. And then Joseph Ciola says, popping in on lunch at work, Deku with All Might scene was a lot less harsh than spoilers made it seem. Still think it will be their final interaction, so I'm glad it wasn't as harsh as it sounded. All right. So real quick with that villain side, like the leadership thing, one of the biggest issues within like My Hero is like, if you think about it, anytime there's been a team mentioned, it almost seems like a big deal. Like Water Hose being a hero team, it was like, ooh, look at that. There was a couple that was heroes together. When you think about when like Mount Lady, Edshot, and Kami Woods teamed up, it was like, oh snap, the Lurkers are forming a hero team. This is really cool. Like
Now,
every time like, a hero,
they became the Lurkers.
yeah, they became the
because-
Lurkers. But like every time like a hero team pops up, it's like made into a like it's a point in the story.
Yeah.
Like even when you go back to Buster Union, they were known as like, oh, like a famous hero team. Like they were, but that was like one of the few hero teams like mentioned. It's hero teams aren't that common. Which in of itself has meant that like a lot of heroes just kind of like work together, bark orders based on like scenarios, go about their day and like head out.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you can have your sidekicks, people who aren't necessarily as good at combat or whatever.
But they don't have a brand. They don't have a brand.
Right. Like, but like they're also not the heroes that are like out there going out of their way to like fight. And like when you're the main heroes, you are on the front lines, and there needs to be more coordination between frontline combatants and like these like first responder types moving in. And like, so like the fact that they didn't have this coordination, like this leadership isn't really built because everybody's been focused on building their own brand, becoming number one, etc. This whole figuring stuff out, making a plan thing has not been a heavy component. Like the best leadership we've probably seen was probably the Night Eye op. And if you remember, that one took him specifically going after less popular heroes. So it's like
he had to recruit some low names in the district near him.
It like when it comes to like meaningful leadership, because of the nature of the hero system, it didn't encourage teamwork.
Well, I also think economically, and this is kind of blatantly said in Swords Festival, is that every hero is a rival because their brand are independent. So when you're in a team, it isn't about your brand; it's about the collective brand. Which means that it's getting which means that your slice of the pie is getting shared with the other people.
Yep. And if you're not that popular with the people already, you're gonna lose a lot. Like you will be just the bum of the group, you know. Like in the Lurkers, we get the rookie, we get the girl, we get the best, and there are 5 in the group now, or there are just 3 in the Lurkers. I don't remember that. How many people are in the Lurker in the team of the
3.
Lurkers? 3, yeah. So yeah,
6 if
like,
you want to count the interns.
Well, you know what I mean. So the thing about it, when we think about it, it's like they all have brands on different stuff, you know, and that's why they can work together. Like in a marketing way, it works well. You get the rookie who takes the rookie and the typical pinup girl from that is not at the moment that are on the headshots. It goes well marketing wise. But if you say that like people like Mirko and Edge should work together, it's a couple of boy and a girl. It is all about marketing. People like I don't know, like Xless going to work with with headshot. Man,
Yeah, that too.
nobody
Like
will know who's
nobody would have
Xless.
cared. Like they
He's
wouldn't
gonna
have
care.
cared.
Yes, for sure. That's the
It was
thing about.
irrelevant.
Well, that's the thing about it. It's like they have like you must have like that marketing a phase that people want to like about you, you know, and the and even just to tell you about how it's important it is. Grammy Woods had his own movie about his life.
hmm
It was very popular to people.
Yeah, he had a
That's the,
documentary that was on his character profile, and it
yes,
detailed his childhood, and
yes,
it was extremely popular.
yes, for sure, because he was like he's a victim of the mutantism because he had got his leave.
Well, it's heavily implied.
Yes, for sure.
Like they
So
don't
that
say it, but we can easily guess it with the current
Wait,
context.
squid. Let Ponzu go. Let Ponzu go.
so that's the
Sorry.
thing about it. It's not a problem. That's the thing about it. It's like that we see that in the reality, the way that My Hero Academia portrays this reality is so good. I don't know how to say it, guys. I don't know how you can miss all this stuff. Ale, if you just read for just to have fun, I understand that sometimes you can't see these deeper layers of a story, but My Hero Academia, what that man does, even with his third grade characters, it's so good. Just so good how important it is. But just have like somebody said on YouTube that Xless or other heroes that died in the war was sometimes the favorite hero of someone in the society. Just thinking about this is enough. It's just enough to tell you how the world, the state of the world, or the state of Japan right now in My Hero Academia is really catastrophic. And some people still saying that the society is not falling apart. Oh no, 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 no. It's sad. But yeah, I will let you talk, Squid. I will give you the word.
Um.
Question.
Yeah. Uh. So yes, Conway Woods did have a very popular documentary. Um. We know there's actually this really interesting character ticked about him. His age. We don't actually know his age. We know he's 29, but that's when he started counting it. So
He's
like
30
his
almost.
yeah. So it's like heavily implied that like his childhood was like super just trash to where he doesn't even like consider that like a part of his life. It's actually pretty sad if you think about it.
Man, just think what people does with
I think he
with
get
fit.
tarnish the link.
Oh,
Sorry,
Tarnish need the link.
Yeah.
I got him.
Sorry.
Tarnish is gonna come on stream.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
good.
that's
Oh,
gonna
death
be
bar
fun.
slander tarnish.
That meant change of style. Like since Deku became like a swordsman type of character, that made change of of aesthetic on his Twitter. It's so the switch is so hard. It's making me. Yeah, I always laugh about it. He became from a Daddy fan to a Deku fan. Like it was it was shocking.
I'm gonna
Eventually, got to talk about these snitching heroes though. Like, there's
address
a difference.
I'm gonna address something too. From
Mhm.
earlier, some people was like, "Well, when Bakugo does his loner, his cocky confidence thing, it's accepted, but when Deku does it, it's not." For me, that's two different cases. There, for one, Bakugo actually grown and seen he can't just do everything on his own, but that's not the point. It's like Bakugo learned his shit and stuff like that. There's a way difference between Bakugo being brass, confident, cocky, and solo me during like the school stuff, and even the license exam, the final exam, that was a big issue that I had. I was like, yo, nigga, you can't do this shit alone. But he had to learn his lesson
Mhm.
on fucking no way. He had to learn his fucking lesson. But there's a difference when you doing that in the school exam where somebody's gonna hold back and you doing this shit in real life where they're out to kill you
Mhm.
and they're wearing you down and you know this is like what they're fucking doing, but you just don't want to listen. You don't listen to anybody, but
Yep. The
Not to
thing with
men-
Deku,
Mhm.
yeah, but yes, the thing with Deku is that he's the type of character that he does these things like with first thing you would never if you know Deku, you would not expect him to get like this, like to get like mighty on his heels first thing, so that he's like something that you don't expect for somebody to see that he is so respectful. But yeah, he does it on the wrong time, like you said. It's like you're in the reality right now, and you begin to talk shit like your life doesn't depend on it. You know what I mean? So, like I told you, it is because that he thinks that he has to do everything on his own. That and and that was the problem. That's what Bakugo said when he got hurt by Alpha One hashtag Shigaraki. Man, you're not alone, bruh. Don't take it on yourself. And that man doesn't learn from his mistakes. He's just running, but running, sprinting to the mouth of the lion, literally. This is what he does. He literally is going to All for One. He's gonna get his ass beat. He's gonna lose something all night, maybe an arm. We don't know what, but he's gonna lose something important to him. So yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. I was just reading something Alves said. I just realized Mount Lady would have reacted like Yoru Musha at the start of the story, and look at how she's come to being a real hero. Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people are talking about, is that Mount Lady at the start of the series wouldn't have been like this person.
Mhm.
And I do think it's kind of cool that I think it was being up close at Camino, especially being up close at Camino. It was like, yo, there's stuff in this world. There are fights, there are opponents that are so much bigger than me, and my power is getting big.
Mhm.
And so she had to really sit there and think about like what's going on in this world around her, and then that's what made her start changing. And then like you factor in that when we are introduced to Snane, it's like basically the arc right after we were introduced to her. It's like Mount Lady's personality more like clearly, where during the sports festival, she's talking about like making money, when she like tells the guy that she left her wallet in the other costume while like, tugging on the titty, just stuff like that until
Get
it's like,
free stuff.
yeah, it's like, so you see where she was in the beginning. And now if you look at current Mount Lady, it's like, would she do any of that stuff now? Even ignoring that, like, she couldn't, because they'd be like, bitch, you forgot your wallet. That's what my tax is paying for. But like, now, like, even ignoring that though, she would probably be like, nah, let me just pay for this. Let me do this. Like, that's how it is. Like, so I think that added, like, having, and that's the other thing when we talk about like the world and stuff, there's always, like, characters don't stop for Deku. They don't like revolve around growing with him. They grow, and then Deku gets to find out they grew, or whatever the case may be. So
in that case, well, yeah, because like I said, everybody's people like I think everybody here is aware now that has a brain in their head. 2A and the rest of the kids are also fighting and doing evacuations and operations. It's not just, as you seen with Shindo and them, it's not just the heroes. The kids are doing this is what the plan was for. The entire thing for the war was for, and for after the fact, a contingency plan, just in case things went south. This is why the kids got real life experience for this. And shout out to that one guy. I remember you saying this like your first time here. You just found us like last week and you're enjoying us. Shout out to you. You said that a while ago. I just remembered randomly. I'm going to address Avenger in the chat. Avenger said, what else was that? He talked about, I want to get you bar for bar. Okay, I want to raise a point. Everybody's complaining about Deku going solo, but if he is accompanied by top heroes, then no assassins will attack. Without assassins, no intel. That didn't work before, and it kind of doesn't really work now, because the assassins are going to attack regardless. Like that first, you had that case with Nagant, but that was just the best trap for off one. No other assassins are going down Nagant route. She was a special case in a special situation. All these other niggas are just villains. They ain't got no morally gray area for them. No, none of that shit. They just killers and assassins.
But we don't know that. We don't know that from the moment. We don't know that from the moment. We know that they are villains, but we don't know if they have a gray area or not, I will say. That might bring something
But
new.
that next dude, the next dude we just seen was not no morally great nigga. I promise.
For
you.
sure.
I'm positive the niggas he's sending out at this point are more so just to wear down Deku. It's not for no more Nagant type beats at this moment. Everybody else is just fodder just so Deku can go wear his ass down. He said everybody you face. He's wearing them down more so literally like mentally and physically so he can drain this nigga down. This whole without no assassinations, no assassins, no intel, that don't really count no more. Cause like, bro, we need like the heroes are saying, we need to do this together. All for One's not giving nobody no intel that's going to track back to him. Because he knows Deku going to win majority of these fights. He's not sending out his real deal hitters.
Yeah, that's like the other thing is that one of the things that I find fascinating is that what we're talking about and like how they need to work together and how he needs to like utilize people better is kind of what the heroes were already discussing. Like they were like, man, like maybe we need to have more allies. Maybe we need to do this. And that's kind of why I said like you kind of have to pull a Young Justice on this one because the kids aren't gonna like sacrifice Deku if they just now get him back when he's been like a linchpin in their classroom. He's been one of the main things that like kept them tied together and like helped them push forward. And they for damn sure not going to do it when Bakugo tells them straight up, I'll murder you if you do this. Like just like that loyalty and like this. So what we're seeing them do is what we need to see Deku do going forward. So I wouldn't even be surprised if we end up getting like, because I still think that we're eventually going to find out that the kids are pursuing Deku. I think they're going to have an interaction with like Shindo, especially like I wouldn't be surprised if Bakugo had an interaction with Shindo, and especially because he had like Bakugo's bullshit detector is the one that like went off when Shindo like pulled up. So like him talking to him and being like, yeah, I trust his opinion and will actually mean something. But them like coming together and starting to form a strategy and eventually like being able to rope Deku in and getting Deku back and having him willing to like sit down and form a strategy, because I could easily see like Deku when he's like breaking down and like All For One wants to make a move on him, that being like when a bunch of students pull out and not to like win but to escape. So that's kind of how I look at it. And then real quick, I wanted to address this super chat. Hold on. Super chat. Dr. Doom said, not sure if you guys read novels, but if you do, try Superpowered by Drew Hayes. It's a good superhero story. Anyway, I like what you guys do. Cheers. Oh, thank you. Appreciate
that.
Yeah,
I wanted to read that.
Thank you.
Who said that? Dr. Doom?
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to read that. The year one shit and year two shit. Like, yeah, so that's cool that you brought that up.
Also, I'm sorry that you love Dr. Doom, specifically because I believe the MCU will completely ruin the Dr. Doom as a character when they use him.
100%, yeah.
Because especially if they use Doom as a one movie villain, it's over. Like you
100%.
ruined it.
They can't do that.
It's like the hype built around him is as big as Thanos. So I don't know.
Don't worry, Tarnish. They will.
Yo,
No,
also,
they
did
cannot
y'all
do that.
talk about? Is this already confirmed? The Tomade on the road in the last panel.
I saw somebody post a picture of a standard Japanese street. Yeah. It's more than likely just a thing that's like
That
all
thing.
race, because it's like how a Japanese street would look. So it's just like boom, yeah. But I don't know if the Tomade would actually be in this particular location.
Speaking of those streets, bro, like nigga, do you see DROs? How long it's been since it hasn't stopped raining? Like you do realize the state that the world is currently in. Like you can literally see the background effects.
Eternal rain cloud over Japan.
Bro, like I think me and Tarns are talking about this. Like Shigaraki is literally at the spa with the cucumbers.
When Shigaraki wake up, that's when the sun gonna come out.
I was saying, like, he got the cucumbers on his face at the spa, the facial mask, getting massages from like Spinner and Skeptics, like little minion niggas, and then like Deku out here fucking in the street, the blood guts, Dookie on his drawers, probably like.
All right.
Like out here really down bad, not eating nothing like that. So,
Do y'all
like,
think he's using the bathroom?
All these niggas' corpses. I mean, defeated bodies. Like,
Wait. But Annika, you were talking about how the students probably looking for Deku. What if they hearing these rumors about him on the street about some guy with multiple quirks?
Bakugo would figure it out in 2 seconds.
Yeah, because he knows.
I think that's how they get to the. That's how they get. I mean,
But
Bakugo will probably tell them.
what if they searching for him the same way the heroes are searching for All For One? They're like he
That's
was
what
just.
I-
They were
that's
like
what
he
I-
was
that's
just
what I-
over- he was just here last week.
That's what I think. Like legit.
So you know how this is what I always know about Horikoshi. He uses one thing or like one character or one plot point, and he fucking somehow stretches this bitch to do 5 different things. Like the genius thing should have just been okay. He enters the league, right? He helps you enter the league. But no, I keep him alive. He comes back and helps Makia. He comes back and help Makia. This leads into having Muriel make a comeback. Then it leads into Bakugo having a hero name. Then it leads into the top 3 teaming up. Then it leads into the Hawks having his back. Like, bro, how the fuck do you really like create one plot point for a character and then like have 5 different like things that all interconnects to the story and then lines back up and it splits again? It's like one character. Like that's why we're gonna have to talk about that death soon enough. That any character that hasn't died has a purpose for staying alive after the fact.
Oh, definitely. Well, that's like, okay, somebody said it like in the chat. They were like, it's crazy how like people are like, oh, like that sidekick death doesn't matter. But then it's like, no, that sidekick death is a large part of why another hero quits. Because Horikoshi isn't writing the story with this will make my readers like flip out necessarily. Like, I don't think he's always going for that. A lot of the times, he's like trying to set up this cohesive, like, once you like run it back, like when this story is done and you like reread it, it's going to be like, oh, A to B to B to C to D to E to E. Oh, yep, it all makes sense. Just like a straight line.
Thanks, Google. But yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I gotta one day when I meet this nigga, I'm gonna have like, bro, so how exactly do you like do this shit? Like, is it all straight from the brain? Do you like write it out on a fucking chart and just be like, all right, here, or is it literally just somehow all in your brain and it's easy?
No, it's definitely not all.
That's like it's like it has to be like a chart that you like.
Yeah, right on this caliber, they're mapping it out for sure in their own way. But it's like, it's a walk back process. Yeah, it's a walk back. It's all ultimately like a process where you walk yourself back and be like, does this actually make sense?
Hopefully. When he said he creates the character, he already has their ending in mind because he said if he just writes and writes,
he'll have the end of the series in mind.
But he said also for characters too. He's like, if I just write this story, I just keep writing, and it gets darker and darker, and I kind of have no end in sight. I'll just write on.
You have to have a good idea of where you want your character to end up.
Yeah. So he usually has the end plot point for the characters while he's writing them. And then like
I wonder how like he writes about characters when he plans for them to die.
Probably the use of that character in the story, like
how they affect others, probably.
How they affect others,
you still gotta write about them.
Like to add something. So the thing about it is more like I read something. I think I will search it later and I will read it back and put it on the chat. Horikoshi, when he was judging. He was judged for past year for the manga I forgot the competition to send your own manga to Shonen Jump, so you can start there I forgot the one. It is the Tezuka stuff, He was judged, and the thing about it is more like that. He said that his favorite things in stories are characters. You know what I mean? Because characters, like many people will say to you, characters are the ones that tell stories. And from my favorite mangaka, Renaud Lemaire, says it a lot that when you write a character, when I write a character, when he makes that character has also its own story, own story before it comes in the story even. So you met the character, but he has also his own past life. He doesn't make it up like what he's writing the story, that character. No. That's the character has his own past life, his own issues, his own problems, and Horikoshi does that even till the character design.
Yeah. So all right. So since Aniki, you finished? I don't know.
Okay. So
Aniki.
If you're not finished, keep going, Panzu.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that way of thinking, guys, when you see characters in My Hero Academia, I will tell you, just try to analyze how they look like and how they might thinking. And if you know the world of My Hero Academia, you might even have a better understanding of characters. That's really how well that he writes his stories. And I'm thinking that he puts the end to when he writes his characters, he gives them a beginning and an end to their story. Sometimes he goes to that end, but stuff might happen differently because the story because are just characters that come in that story. Then sometimes change as a character when you write stories.
Right.
That good old manga interview practice. Alves Correa, you're a good one for sure. I have that book too. So that's the thing about it. So the characters and Horikoshi, I don't know how he does it, how he keep it how he has so much a big control of his characters because man,
That nigga
it's
just
difficult.
yeah.
It's
So
freaking
all right,
difficult
all right. So since Aniki stepped away, I'll be taking control.
No,
of
brother.
for sure.
I am the captain of the ship.
Oh gosh.
Everyone, shut up. I'm speaking now.
Okay.
So the reason why hardcore should go, cause that nigga. No, mess with y'all. All right, we have one super chat from Joseph.
No, you was
Sciola.
gonna go
Again,
in, bro.
well, hold on. We have one super chat from
Why you
Joseph
stop?
Sciola. Thank you again, Joseph, because I have to read super chat. I have to put my right voice on. I've been seeing the A to B to C thing as I've been buying and reading the volumes. That is very much a thing that is easy to see as the story goes on. And what he means by the A to B to C is like literally it's like a fucking alphabetical order. This thing lines up with this thing, it goes forward to this thing, and it's literally like a domino effect if you just keep on going down the line with everything that the story lines up. Like, can't stress enough how important literally the first arc of USJ really was to like.
Yes.
Oh shit!
The arc is underrated.
I'm literally rereading, right, and I just got the Force Camp, and they keep
You reread
stressing,
every
like,
month.
Shut the hell up. That's not the point. And they keep stressing how like. Yeah, we had like, damn, shouldn't the kids like do this shit later on? It's like, yeah, they wouldn't really be starting this to the second year, but it's not like we don't have a choice because the villain organization is actually starting to come together and they're actually taking the League of Villains very seriously, which is what I actually like. Early on, they're not taking them as like a bunch of chumps. They actually took them very serious. Like, yo, if they garner this and garner that, and then it folds on again in the sports festival, all this clout they're getting. And it rolls in again, back again with fucking Stain. And that arc is so fucking.
Nobody got more clout than Stain.
Oh God,
Yep.
bro. Like that shit is so absolutely insane, bro.
Stain the clout, God.
And Alves, I'll say this: if you don't like how Midnight's death was handled, okay, but because there's a certain two people that keep calling it off screen, it's not fucking off screen. It's meant you want to see brutality to her death. It wasn't meant for that. It was.
I didn't want to see that.
You know, she died. She had her final words to push on Momo. Her death was a catalyst for Momo. It wasn't supposed to be like Midnight got her head smashed in by gas mask. Oh my God! Like no, this is a whole.
Call
like,
him by his actual name. You can't just say gas mask.
Gas mask.
It's gas mask. God.
Sorry, excuse me.
Gas mask.
Coyote.
Coyote, I got you. He's not saying the name right. It's
Gas mask. God folded Midnight and killed her. Like, would y'all really have to see Midnight getting stomped out and beat up this and like
with
you
them
know
Timbs.
some of y'all was on that bullshit though. I'm still not forgetting that how y'all was like, oh, she's not. I don't think she's like, bro. She fell from fucking 50 feet in the air. We got injuries, and then like a group of people pulled up on her. Did you really think she was gonna survive? But then y'all didn't want to count that, but y'all wanted to kill off the Pussycats and everybody else. We're not gonna talk about that.
I still don't understand what they killed her.
But what you mean? The PLF?
No. That was a dumb joke. I won't tell that joke. I won't tell the joke because I'm gonna get.
I mean,
I'm gonna get flamed.
I understand. No, never mind. Let's not get into it now.
Yeah, cause I'm just trying to say, like, it's the same thing with Majestic. Yeah, you could have seen him flatten like a pancake, but the point is for his message
more than flatten.
They got that nigga from scraps. All they got is a hat left. They could have found the body.
Yeah, no, it's
but yeah, like not every death is gonna get that big moment. Like you could be taken out just doing something just to save. You know what I'm saying? Like it is
like it's a catalyst. Like some characters deserve their own for like full on screen death.
Yeah, twice.
Twice. Like
Hawks backed him up.
Even twice his death. At first, we didn't really see it. Like,
But
Yeah.
you knew,
when
but you
that-
knew
But it was a
when
bigger
that-
moment.
when that-
It was a
yo,
bigger moment.
When that chapter came out, there was still people trying to say that he was like alive.
A lie,
Like,
yeah.
But
Well,
that's
He didn't
that's
fully-
denial
he
more
didn't-
so because of like horror. You know, people are like, would he kill a character that big? Like that's what it was kind of like.
He didn't fully show it until the
Exactly,
Dobby reveal
But
when he exposed Hawks, and then he showed it in 4K HD.
he does a lot more symbolic. He does a lot. I'm trying to hold on to Aniki get here, but he does a lot more symbolic deaths than like on-screen shock value deaths. And I'm really holding off so we don't have the conversation about how desensitized and fucking blood hungry you niggas be over deaths. Cause it's like, okay, I understand if no character died whatsoever, but y'all be like, Horikoshi afraid to kill said character. Like,
I let it go.
Yeah, that's
I let it go a long time ago.
I'd be like,
now,
I'd be like, hey, pull up every character besides Nagant, pull up every character that should have died so far, pull up the instant they should have died, and everything they did after the fact. Because
nobody could do that.
Nobody can do that. You can't say any character that's not still alive doesn't have a purpose yet so far. Like they're still here. Like, oh, listen, we're not gonna get Gran Torino.
That's why honestly,
Gran Torino didn't
bro,
die.
I'll be honest. That's why I threw in the towel on Endeavor dying in the war. I said, you know what, I understand.
Because
like,
you wouldn't have got the Mischief of Fire shit, and we need all of those players.
We need the gas. We need him to cook.
To come together and be at that point. He's good. It's just like
I lost the battle, but I didn't lose the war because that nigga Endeavor is still dying. Mark my words.
Oh God.
No, we're still packing him up.
Don't you dare say Hawk. Stop right there.
This is why Gran Torino didn't die immediately. Gran Torino didn't die immediately because Deku needed two things. One, that cape, and to pass on that torch of death can be a form of salvation too. Because nobody really gonna tell that nigga Deku that.
Deku needed to hear that.
He needed to hear that because when he fails to say Shigaraki, which he will, he gonna need to be like, all right, I guess there truly is no other way. And people kind of ignore that Deku, except that he might have to kill Shigaraki. Like there may not be another way.
If Gran Torino didn't tell him that, the only other person who might have been able to tell him that is Hawks, and he's not close enough to Deku to tell. He's not close enough.
Hawks, even
Hawks has a way of
even
like.
All Might killed for. He thought that he killed all for one. We still didn't
I really want them to address that. That All Might really did almost kill All for One.
I mean,
that was
they
legit
addressed it a couple.
confirmed.
They
like chapter 59. Chapter 59. He was like,
but he never said that. He never said that to Deku. He never said that to Deku.
Yes, he did say that to Deku. Yes.
You need to know that because Deku never heard about.
Now Masa even said this time let's try capturing him. As in the first time he was trying to catch a body out here. Like, come on.
No, but just the violence.
And I'm pretty sure the other users tried to kill him too. Like, ain't nobody really.
The second user was smoking.
Wait. Let him talk.
The thing about you have to understand something because right now Deku is doing the same thing as All Might did. From what we see, just remember what All for One said. You took my allies one after the one just to come to me, and you just ruined me. That's the thing that's gonna happen again. Literally, All Might was in the same. I would say All Might was in the same thought as Deku right now when he was trying to chase him. You know what I mean? That he was in the same clouded mind space. Because just thinking how he come so far to really when he saw All for One, just look at his face, man. That man lost his hairline, his eyes, even his nose. We don't see any form, bruh. That he lost. That just to understand that you don't. He must also fucked All Might up in a way mentally. That was also so. I don't. What we see here is repeating of history.
All for One is very heavily.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be a little bit different at this time.
Yeah,
because it's like it's not his empire. All for One's empire and his actual allies aren't crumbling. Right now, he's just biding time for Shigaraki. He's just having his last bit of fun, which is going to kind of backfire on that nigga too. About you playing with Shigaraki's food and his shit. Like his Shigaraki say, "This is my show now." Then that nigga Shigaraki gonna wake up, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
I had a conversation. I had a question from Pedro Leo, and then they asked me a while ago. He added me like, question for you guys: do you think there a reason why Hori made Shiggy look like a messiah and Deku like a demon. Maybe this being off on true plan for Shiggy to rise. You see, what's funny about that? I wish Anarchy was here, but because he's that Bible nigga and that whole structural religious. But it's in the fact that, like me and Torrance were saying earlier, like Shigaraki is resting and he's coming up. It's easier to be a villain than it is a hero. It's like Often was saying, you chose this thorny path. You're burdened by all these. Can I do this? Can I not do this? Like what can I do? What can I do? This, that, and the other. Meanwhile, villains have no restrictions. They have no laws about no moral codes, only their own justice thing. Meanwhile,
You get a super chat.
Meanwhile, when you're a hero, you need to abide by these rules. You need to try to save people. You need to try to do this. When you're a villain, like All For One, you don't have that fucking bullshit to weigh you down. You don't have that.
Especially worse in this environment right now.
Yeah, it's even more worse here right now. It's like he's wearing Deku down during his thorny path because you have to keep stressing, saving people. You're not eating. You're not resting. You going this hard.
He said word for word. He said every battle grinds away at your soul with no end in sight.
Exactly.
Your soul, bro.
Thanks for that donation, World D Champion, man.
Yeah.
It was a good ass chat.
MD World D Champion,
Shout out
man.
you,
He
bro.
makes Bobby
That's what-
Fischer
The goat.
look really just like.
That's
He makes Bobby Fischer look amateur, bro.
Yeah, so shout out to super chat from Watkins. Thank you.
4
Watkins,
likes to go to
champion.
100.
He's like, there's a reason why they call him Hori Goat Koshi. 9,001 out of 10 chapters. Sorry, I'm asking this week, but always got to support the church. He's go off on him. Listen. Listen. You don't want me to do that. Cause if I do
Let's go.
we gonna have a problem in this bitch.
Let's go.
Cause I done told y'all niggas once, and I told y'all niggas twice. You know what? Fuck that shit. Times at 1,000. Cause I told you 2,000 times before. But you
He
guess
told you,
what?
Lord.
Eventually, I'm finna kick your ass out the door. Cause we ain't playing no motherfucking more. Okay.
You said he ain't playing.
10 out of 10. Guess what? I always win. Cause who got my back? Horikoshi in the end. Talk to these niggas, man.
He with him.
Man, listen,
93
all y'all
more
gotta
to the
do-
100. 3 more
All
to
y'all gotta do is trust the process. You don't understand, bro. Their greatness is incoming. What y'all want and what y'all don't want, it gonna happen. What you don't want, it not gonna happen. You want all Shigaraki to be final boss? He is the final boss.